okay? And this is not particular to... Hey everyone, this is Jeff Douglas, Doctor of Physical Therapy and Golf Fitness Coach here at Empower Physical Therapy in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Want to wish you a happy new year. We are in 2024 now, and because of this, I wanted to do a talk about why New Year resolution plans fail a lot, all right? And this is not just geared to New Year's resolutions. This is just geared to many people who are starting new goals. And in our world, we're going to be talking about either health-related goals or fitness/golf performance goals. All right. There's so many people that get, inspired. They're ready to make a change for their health or for their golf game, and they try to create this new plan, and then many times they never reach what they were going for. And so we're going to go over what are these common reasons and what are potential fixes to all these reasons. All right. And so the first one I want to talk about is unrealistic expectations. People get excited about new things, new goals. They get hope, right? And they create a goal or that they're trying to achieve that really isn't achievable. And many times it's not achievable in the time frame that they give them. All right. For example, someone wants to lose 20 pounds and they give themselves a month. All right. That's pretty unrealistic, all right, because you would have to do very drastic things to get there, and then the odds of you getting there are slim. If you do get there, you probably did it in an unhealthy way, and if you don't get there, you have failed now because you gave yourself an unrealistic expectation of this goal, and now you are mad, you're down, and then you just give up on it, all right? And so you have to make sure that your expectations are realistic. You can't go set these very lofty goals, or the method of which you're going to get there needs to be appropriate, all right? So that in the end, it's a fair chance for you to get there, and so that you don't fail and then get upset. So you have to be very, very smart about how you're setting these goals up. And that's where having someone that's an expert in whatever field or goal you're going through can kind of guide you in setting up, hey, this is the norm, right? If you want to improve your club head speed, we can see something, about a 3-mile club head speed go up 3 miles an hour, in a 6-week period. That's pretty realistic. But if you're like, I want to see 15 miles an hour in 2 weeks, probably not going to be good. All right. So having an expert in whatever area you're doing it can really help you make your expectations really real, and have a better picture of what it's going to look like and how long it will take. All right. Number 2, lack of specificity. All right. This would be someone I just want to lose weight, or I want to feel better. I want to swing faster. They don't make an actual achievable mark or an objective measure when they do this, all right? And this kind of makes it very gray, because then you don't know if you're making progress and stuff like that. So an example I like to use is if you have a goal, say you were trying to get somewhere in Google Maps, and you know where you want to go. Say I'm trying to get to the Mall of America right here, but the GPS doesn't know where we are right now. You don't have a good baseline. Odds are it's not. They can't give you good information of how to get to where you want to go because you don't know where you are. So you have to make things specific. To be things specific, you got to have a good baseline, and then from your baseline, you then can say, okay, specific would be, I want to lose 10 pounds in 3 months. I want to gain 5 miles an hour club head speed in 2 months. All right, you got to make things specific. You got to have a timetable to it. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? But you also have to know where you're starting from, or else it makes it very hard to make your goal specific with that. Number 3, you have no clear plan. You know the outcome that you want, but you have no idea how you're going to get there. And you're just going to throw darts blindly at a board and hope something sticks and that you show up. Versus having a clear-cut plan of how you're going to get there. And so in our world, in the health world, that would probably be consulting with one of our individuals that work at Empower. And you got to make sure that there's steps to this process. And I like to talk about micro steps. We got to take baby steps to get there. We can't just jump and into this drastic thing, because many times it doesn't work out. You become overwhelmed and it kind of jumps into the next one as well. But you got to have a clear-cut plan of how you're going to get there. And then it doesn't mean the plan's always going to work, but that's where we go back and we can tweak it. And then, because you got to start, know what you did, retest it. Are we making progress towards whatever goal you had? And if you're not, we need to tweak it. Or if we are making good progress, perfect, we're on the path, let's stick to that plan, all right? But you gotta have a plan so we can always go back and see if this plan is working and you have a little more structure in your life versus just kind of, I might work out twice a week or I might do some speed training here and there, all right? Versus this specific plan that's gonna help take micro steps to get where we wanna go to. Number 4, too much too soon. This is the biggest thing I probably see people do, all right, is they get excited, they get eager, and then they go all in, and then they blow themselves up because it was way too much. So for someone that's maybe, like example, whether this is you're trying to improve your golf fitness or you're just trying to lose weight to improve your health, people want to start incorporating, right, exercise into their life, which is awesome, right? Can't say enough about that. But if you go from doing no exercise to 1 day a week, that's an exponential leap, all right? And then say maybe you go from 1 day a week to 2 days a week, that's a 100% leap, right? That's a big jump to doing something new. And so people get excited, and in an injury world, it's like people want to run because they want to lose weight, and then they get hurt running because they went from doing nothing to running 5 miles, and their body wasn't ready for it. It's just, there's many different examples of how this just, people try to do too much too soon, and it just blow up because they're not used to it. They haven't developed a habit. So I always say for this is you need to start small, prove to yourself that you can do this, and then we can start adding more. For example, you could go to working out once a week if you've never worked out before. Once you prove that you can work out at least once a week for 4 weeks or maybe 3 weeks, then we can talk about going to 2 versus someone going, it's New Year's, I'm ready to lose weight, I'm going 4 days a week. They don't make it 4 days a week, they get mad at themselves, and then they give up, right? Because they keep failing based off these unrealistic expectations they did because they try to do too much too soon. So they kind of play off each other, a lot of these different reasons, all right? So make sure you start small, prove to yourself that you can do that, and once you can prove to yourself to do that, let's move on to the next step and get to what you truly want to do, all right? 5 is lack of accountability. Many people won't say what their goals are, or they won't tell people because they're scared they will fail, and then they look bad, they feel bad about it, all right? And they don't have someone to guide them along the way. So lack of accountability is just someone there to coach you along the way, to push you, to stay on you, because it's easy to do things when we feel good, but when you're having low energy, long week, it's hard to show up on those days. And that's where having accountability can really help. Again, working with someone at Empower can really help you with a lot of these things, but the biggest one would be a lack of accountability. We would be able to keep you accountable, whether that's you stopping in once a week, twice a week, once a month. We're there for you to make sure that you are making progress towards the goals that you and then we had discussed with you. All right. And last one, external factors. A lot of things come up in people's life, right? And everyone has the same amount of time, but it's just how we spend that time and what we prioritize with that time. Kids, babies, work gets stressed, right? There's so many different reasons that people, and it's all different to each other of how much each one affects someone, all right? So it's all a true feeling that when something comes up and it prevents you from doing what you want in your mind, and we understand that, but we have to find ways to work around that, all right? Some things are out of our control, some things really are in our control. But that's life, and that's why you have to make sure you have plans in place in case things do come up, right? Maybe it's then you have to cut back how long your workouts are. Maybe you have to make sure you have meals prepped ahead of time instead of, I was going to make this meal tonight and then I stayed late with work and then I went out and got food instead because, right? So many different things. Other external factors is that people around you can make a huge difference for the better or for worse. If you're trying to make health changes but the rest of your family or friends aren't, they'll bring you probably down with it, all right? So who you hang out with, having a community, having a coach can really help you if you aren't around people who are trying to get to the same place that you are, all right? So just being aware of that, right? If you're trying to lose weight but family keeps bringing chocolates around, popcorn, whatever it is around the house, and you keep snacking on it because it's round, right? It's tough. So that's a big thing. It is a real thing, and that's where we have to work around that. And that's kind of having a fluid plan, and that's where you adapt your plan based on how things are going, where are we slipping up, and then that's where you make adjustments. I hope this helps. Again, this is not per se just for the New Year's. This is for any new goals that you're setting. But again, a lot of these things are reasons why people struggle, and a lot of these things is where we can come and help you brainstorm and create a plan to get to whatever outcome that you want, and then try to take these reasons out as a reason why you're not getting there. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great start to the new year.